Okay, here we are, a quick and dirty how-to guide on the Pelagian rebreather. Here we have the head, the top, the bottom. This is the ADV. The loop plugs in here. Our cells, at the moment we've got two cells. Two cells go to this handset. A simple magnetic switch on the side, easy. You'll see the little holes inside the head that aim directly at the cells. Nice bit of music. You'll see that these cells are trimmed as opposed to this cell which is not trimmed. The reason these are trimmed is that if you like, you can blow moisture from the face of the cells. A new cell doesn't come like that unless you get them directly from Rebreather Lab, then they do. The two cells, the feeds from the ADV to blow the moisture out. The reason that new cells are not cut is because until we can find out that they're working properly, we don't want to invalidate the warranty by cutting them. So use them half a dozen times. When they work fine, carefully cut them, put them in the head. Two cells for the handset, the third one for a computer. Shearwater computer with a third cell plug-in, easy to assemble and install, and we'll do that in a second. Okay, here we've got the Pelagian head. The two O-rings sit in those grooves, sit around the scrubber body. Then we have this important O-ring, excuse my finger, sits in there and fits around the scrubber tube, making a good seal there. Three cells inside, it doesn't matter which position they go in. Two for the display and the third one for the computer if you're going to plug one in. Okay, battery, 9-volt battery going inside there. Recording. Okay, scrubber. Got mesh sits at the bottom of the scrubber. Fill it up with lime. CO2 tube runs down the centre. That goes on the top. Board in like so. And it's important that that sits there. That little shelf sits on top of it, because if you put it the wrong way around and it sits like that, if you push it, the tube is falling down and down and down, and that will cause problems. So make sure that it sits like that. It goes in like that. That one sits on the top. Okay, let's put some lime in the scrubber. Going to get the scrubber tube, put it inside the unit, put the head, so the scrubber tube O-ring covers the tube, scrubber tube. Put the scrubber on, just line up the holes on the side, like so. And don't forget to put one or two of the locking nuts in to stop it from shifting around. Okay. Once it's assembled without O-rings, then we can put lime inside it. Here we have our hand-carried, pure Colombian cut softened lime. Julian, our mule, has had that inserted in his anus all the way across from London, and now we're going to put it in our unit. You should have seen. Go. Okay, easiest way to fill a Pelagian is to use a funnel, a cut down funnel. If you make the hole too small, obviously the lime will get choked up. Put the funnel into the inhalation side, obviously not the exhalation side, otherwise you'll be filling up that grey tube and that won't take long at all. So you put your funnel in there and you start filling. Okay, slowly, slowly. You can put in a kilo at a time, wait for it to settle. These bags have got 2 kilos in them, so we'll just wait until they're all in. The scrubber takes 3.3 kilos of this size lime. If you're using big granule lime, it'll only take 2.5, 2.6. But soft lime 797 is ideal for shallow and deep. Okay, so we've got 2 kilos of lime in there. Just pop this off. You can look down there, you can inspect it, give it a good few taps to get rid of any voids, avoid any channeling. The tightness and compactness is all a sort of a bit of an internet game really. You only need to get the lime in there. We're not going to do any death or glory stunt dives. I'll edit that shit. Okay, just pause for a second.
I know really.
Okay, okay. Right, so the unit takes 3 kilos of lime. Every kilo roughly, or every sum, just look to see the level. And then you can give it a few taps, a few pats, just to make it sure that there's no voids, avoid some channeling. Okay. We need to get some lime roughly up to the sticker height, because when there's that amount of lime, the lime will get a grip on the CO2 tube, and when we lift up the head, the CO2 tube will remain in the lime, and that's important. We don't want to pull it out when it's only half full, because when we lift it, the scrubber tube will come with it, and we'll have to start again. Alright, so just make sure that we don't get too much in there, but then it's not really a problem if you do. You can take some out. So looking down the hole, it looks fine. You don't need to look down the hole. You still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we lift it, we want that kind of thing. The tube has stayed in place, and we've got almost enough lime. You'll see a ring around the top of the scrubber, and that's where the spider, the mesh, will sit on the top of the lime. Okay, and then once we've got the lime up roughly around the sticker, we can hand finish it. Just a bit at a time. Give it a good shake. A few taps. If you keep on tapping it again and again and again, then you're going to make the lime really, really tight, and there's just no need to. If you're using the lime for no more than 3 or 4 hours at a time, they don't need to be super compacted. I mean, lime's not so expensive that you need to use it and get as much in as possible. Right, so we need another inch on top of that one. Okay, so pretty much perfect. Just under the white line. That sits on the top, and the scrubber's done. Okay, the main scrubber O-rings, just inspect them. A little bit of grease, just a little bit more than that. Run your fingers around again and again. We want the O-rings nice and soft, nice and clean, but not so we can see big clumps of grease, just nice and shiny. And then we're going to install them here. 1, 2. Okay, so they're the scrubber O-rings, and then we have one which is just as important, the CO2 O-ring, which fits in this groove here. Let me just put that down. Let's cut it. So just as important as the body O-rings is the little scrubber tube O-ring, which fits in here. Again, it needs to be shiny, clean, and sitting in its space. So that's all good. Just make sure the holes are lined up, make sure the scrubber tube is lined up, push it home, voila. When you're done diving, maybe you've done an hour, and you're going to do a few more dives on the same lime, you just need to keep the lime from drying out. So get a hairnet, plastic bag, bit of tape. Tape it down if you need to. You just want to make sure that the lime isn't drying out around the top, and you can just leave it like that for a day or so, a week if you need to. Okay.